My mother taught me not to throw stones at cripples. But my father taught me aim for their head.
This war is far from over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to me swinging more right hooks at various companies, because apparently it's popular and there's no shortage of targets. Having gone after Creative Assembly and given my experience from a modder's perspective, a lot of people pointed out that Paradox Entertainment have done basically the same thing. Kind of yes, kind of no, but also glaringly yes. I have historically been fairly lenient when it comes to Paradox, because they do, to their credit, not limit modders whatsoever. And they do very frequently put their DLC and their games up for very large discounts. So much so that it's basically an accepted reality for anyone that plays Paradox games that if you want to buy one of their DLCs, you have one of two options. Buy it at launch for 20 quid, or wait until the next Steam sale, at which point it will be 80% off. These sales happen fairly frequently. Paradox lowers the price of their products pretty frequently. Somewhat. Ish, mostly. Point being, for the longest time, you could rely on Paradox to release greedy amounts of DLC, but have the option to wait and get them on a massive discount. This has allowed me, for many years, to basically just roll my eyes at the corporate greed in Paradox, rather than getting annoyed about it. They even made Crusader Kings 2 free to play, once they released Crusader Kings free, something that you will never see Creative Assembly do. If you want to go buy the first Warhammer Total War that released in May of 2016, you still have to pay 40 quid. If you want to go try Crusader Kings 2, it's free, go ahead. There is certainly glaring differences between the way Creative Assembly operates and the way Paradox operates. But then Paradox went and released a Star Trek game, and by Star Trek game I mean, well, look at this, lads. Look at this. Just look at it. Yeah, it looks good, huh? Wait, no, never mind. I lied. This is a mod for Stellaris. How foolish of me. How could I possibly get these two confused? Here we go. This is the... Wait, no, this is a mod as well. God damn it, how do I keep getting this confused? They're clearly totally different products. There we go. That's much... Wait. No, that's Halo. That's a Halo mod. My bad. That's a Stellaris Halo mod. It's around here somewhere, lads. I'll find it. Oh, wait. The first thing that I showed you was actually correct. This is Star Trek Infinite. No, it isn't. I lied again. Okay, now it's Star Trek Infinite. A totally separate video game that has no correlation whatsoever to Stellaris. If you think it looks like Stellaris, you're delusional. This is definitely not Stellaris. It's not even a voiceover. The mod had a voiceover.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Also, the mod had like 50 race options and planet start options.
I have been assigned to help you on the Federation's mission to spread peace,
No,
and
no,
if
no,
you
I
need
don't
my
need
advice
help.
at any time,
don't
don't
help.
hesitate.
Shut up. I've played Stellaris before. I know what I'm doing, game. And you too can play this now for about 30 bucks. Knowing Paradox, it should probably end up on a massive sale at some point, but honestly, even if it was like 10 quid, just go play Stellaris. That has Star Trek mods. They're basically identical. Which brings me nicely to the point of this entire video, the overarching discussion, so to speak. What exactly makes a mod DLC? What makes a DLC a mod? Because ultimately, downloadable content, DLC, is just that. It's downloadable content. It's additional content on top of the main game that you have purchased. And a mod, any mod, is downloadable content. Now, you could be cynical and argue that every DLC is technically a mod, and you could mistakenly believe that the term mod means that the quality is going to be low, which is not the case, but it is far more often the case. For me, personally, the difference is simply this. DLC is supposed to be professional quality content, because you're paying for it. It's developed by a studio, rather than just some dude living in his parents' basement. Not to say that Steve in his mum's basement can't make DLC-worthy content. There are multiple examples out there of mods that I would happily pay 20 quid. There is always that possibility for a mod to be exceptional. It does happen. There's multiple examples of this. DayZ, Counter-Strike, etc., etc. There are projects like Skyblivion, which look exceptional. I would happily pay for that. That, if released by a games company, would be not considered a mod. That's an expansion pack. It's all about quality. That's what makes the difference. That's what makes it worth the player's money. And so, dear viewer, when a company as greedy as Creative Assembly purposely cripples their modders, preventing them from creating things that might compete with official releases, you end up with the situation that we have with Total War sagas. And Pharaoh is a saga title. That's just the concept that they wanted to push forth to excuse a smaller quantity with less quality and still put a price tag on it. Because people's complaints don't come from the fact that it's necessarily a mod, they come from the fact that the quality of said product is minuscule. Because in a world where modders are free to flex their creative muscles, companies are held to a higher standard. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine for a second an alternate universe where the Warscape engine doesn't limit Total War modders whatsoever. In this universe, there is a Thrones of Britannia mod. You can replace Thrones of Britannia with Pharaoh, the analogy still works. But you've been playing these mods for months now, they're exceptional, they're outstanding. And then Creative Assembly announces that they are doing a Total War Thrones of Britannia, a Total War Pharaoh. It doesn't matter what the title is, the point is, because the modders have already shown you how good it can be, Creative Assembly are then held to a higher standard. If they release something that is mediocre, it will be a much more difficult pill for the average player to swallow, because that player has been playing the mods that has shown him how good it can be and how good it should be. The existence and freedom of players' ability to mod the product raises the bar of the quality expected from the company, which is why Creative Assembly took the bar, shattered the modders' kneecaps, and then ran off with it. And Creative Assembly have gotten away with it for years, because they decide where the bar is. They have no competition, be it from AAA developers or modders, although I have been informed that there are some chads out there still breaking into the Warscape engine and getting around Creative Assembly's blockers. More power to you lads. That aside, there is regardless a light years difference in quality standards expected from Creative Assembly and Paradox. In terms of the player, I should say, the average player of Paradox games is used to getting free reign with modding. There are some exceptional mods for those titles. The modders have total freedom. Paradox has not snatched the bar and shattered their kneecaps yet. So when Paradox releases something like Star Trek Infinite, which is literally just a Stellaris mod, the community goes, what the hell is this? This is just a Stellaris mod, you're taking the piss. Because mods are normal for Paradox. Total overhaul mods, things that overhaul the game entirely. They make it into Star Trek, Star Wars, Halo, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. The quality bar is set and the player controls it. For Creative Assembly, they took that bar and they decide where the hell it is. Silencing and dogpiling upon anybody who dares to point out that they've been shifty the entire time. Although not quite as shifty as EA is with The Sims, which may seem like a weird thing to bring up, but if you ever want the most egregious example of corporate greed, cutting up content, and reselling of DLC, look no further than EA. Because those lads will sell you a game and then sell you a DLC to put swimming pools into it, and then they'll release a new game with no swimming pools, and then sell you the swimming pools again, and then they'll release another game with no swimming pools and sell you swimming pools again. How do I know this, you may be asking? Good question, Timmy. You don't want to know. Let's just say I've dated some really kinky, strange, crazy, insane women, and just leave it at that. I like crazy, it's a disease. Though not quite the disease that Todd Howard is with Bethesda and his cultists, releasing what are basically mods of Skyrim, unfinished mods of Skyrim, handing the players the quality bar, along with any responsibility, and going, here, fix this. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. All in all, the discussion boils down to this, and I do feel like there's a discussion to be had, more so than... I'm not telling you what is and what isn't, I'm opening a dialogue here, so to speak. I want to hear what your guys' opinions are on this, and I'm not just saying that because your comments power the algorithm, but they do, so, you know. Give me your opinions, I care so much. So much. All of this rambling boils down to simply, we're screwed. Because this is just really the story of corporate America, basically. It's the AAA industry, it is what it is. It's been like this for a long time now. With the exception of a few lights in the darkness, most AAA video games these days are made for shareholders, not for players. And really, all any of us can ever do is simply talk with our wallets. It's not going to fix the problem. I don't think enough of us will ever have the spine to just say, no. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for you. Personally, if a company spits in my face, if they treat me like crap, I'm not buying their products. I don't care if it doesn't change the world. I'm not expecting it to. That's delusional. But personally, they're not getting my money. And that's all the victory against them that I'd ever need. So you best start believing in that corpo-run dystopian world. Because you're in one. And if you'd like to see the second half of this video, you too can pre-order now for $25.99. Pre-order bonuses and terms and conditions may apply.
This war is far from over.